To Emanuel AME Church on Calhoun Street after a shooting around 9 o'clock this evening happened at that church there. Many agencies out there working this situation. We have our Raphael James. He's live out there. He's been working this situation all night since it unfolded. Raph, any new details that you can tell us?
Aisha, the newest detail we can tell you is that SLED has arrived on the scene. We've just seen them here. SLED is here, the FBI, of course, Charleston, and Charleston County as far as investigative agencies go. There is also the coroner. The coroner's office has arrived on the scene. There was a shooting here inside of the church. We don't know precisely how many victims at this time. Our William Joy has also been on the scene with me here since we've been covering this. William, what are some things that you can tell us right now?
Yeah, well, the first thing I noticed is, like you said, the families have started to gather at the Embassy Suites. Emotions obviously very high. When they were over here at the hotel here at the Marriott, people were crying and sobbing. It was really sad to see.
Again, it is an active scene here. They are searching right now for a suspect, the person responsible for this. If you're just tuning in, we'll try to give you that description one more time. It was a white male, 20 years old. He was wearing a gray hoodie, blue pants at the time. Someone said Timberlands, and he escaped somewhere in this area. The helicopters are above. They've got all of the search equipment out to look for them. And as soon as we hear anything more about it, we will, of course, let you know. Again, this is a very well-known church. Emanuel has been a part of this community for many years. And people are coming here, many of them related to the church, many of them related to the victims who are in the church. And their hearts are heavy, understandably. Wish we had more information to give you at this time, but for now, that's all we have. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you so much, Raphael. Again, we cannot reiterate enough the description of the suspect, that they are looking for a white male, around 20 years of age, slender build, in his 20s, as I said, slender, small build, gray sweatshirt and blue jeans, clean shaven. All of this around 9 o'clock this evening at Mother Emanuel AME Church on Calhoun Street. Happened there at the church where that shooter went in and shot at the church, inside the church. No word as to how many people have been shot. Our Harv Jacobs said one person was taken to MUSC and that the hospital is pretty quiet right now. We also have heard word that families are gathering at the Embassy Suites. Another nugget that we want to give you, dispatch. They're asking you, officials are asking you to call 743-7200. You can go to Charleston PD tweets. They're asking anyone with information about this shooting on Calhoun Street that happened around 9 o'clock to call dispatch. Again, that number 743-7200. 743-7200 as they search for this active shooter looking for a male, a white male, around 21 years of age, slender build, sweatshirt, hoodie. They also did say he had Timberland boots, it seemed, and jeans, and clean shaven. They are still actively looking for this shooter in this situation that happened around 9 o'clock. Raphael says that he's been told the man went inside the church there as they were having a meeting on this Wednesday night, went inside that church and started shooting. Several people he heard were shot. One person that we do know, Harv has confirmed one person was taken to MUSC. We're also hearing SLED has arrived. I want to recap what's going on Calhoun Street as well as Meeting Street right now. It happened around 9 o'clock this evening at Mother Emanuel AME Church. That's on Calhoun Street, where a man, a white male, they're saying, went inside that church and started shooting. Several people we're hearing were shot inside that church. We're also hearing right now Meeting Street. It has been closed because of a bomb threat. Because of this situation that's going on, a bomb threat was called in. our crews have been pushed back quite a bit of ways away from this situation, and we just talked to our Raphael James. He was trying to get more information from the public information officer to bring us up to speed as to currently what's going on. But William Joy did tell us that they are actively still searching for this suspect, this man, white male in his 20s, that went inside the church around 9 o'clock and started shooting. Many members, several members were inside for a meeting and Bible study, and that's where we stand with the situation on Calhoun Street. And then over again on Meeting Street, closed because of a bomb threat being called into the Embassy Suites. That's not far from the scene, the first scene on Calhoun Street. We have all our crews out there. Our Harv Jacobs said one person was transported to MUSC a little earlier because of this, and we're supposed to be hearing a briefing in just a little bit on to bring us up to speed on what currently is going on. But we do know that they are actively looking for a white male in his 20s, slender, small build, gray sweatshirt is what he was wearing, a hoodie, blue jeans and Timberland boots, clean shaven. That's who they were looking for. That's who they're currently looking for, and they're asking people, if you have seen someone with that description, to give them a call on at 743-7200. Again, 743-7200. If you've heard anything, if you've seen anything, if you've witnessed anything, they want you to give them a call. Also, we're going to go back out to our Harv Jacobs. He's live with us on the phone. He's out there at MUSC where that one patient was transported a little earlier to. Harv?
Aisha, it's a quiet scene here at MUSC compared to what's going on near the church over on Calhoun Street. There are people waiting outside the emergency room and also inside the emergency room. Earlier, we had a gentleman who yelled out, "You can't tell me nothing about my grandmother," and he was pulled away by a woman who might have been a relative. So my guess is these folks out here are either related to this woman or are friends of this woman. So we obviously have at least one person who was apparently wounded in the shooting here at MUSC. And that's what Charles Francis, spokesman for City PD, told me earlier. Only one person taken here. And we're just waiting for some more information. A lot of security out here, a lot of MUSC police out here keeping the peace, just in case things do get a little crazy, because you have to understand there's a lot of tension over here at the hospital tonight, a lot of sadness, a lot of anxiety, and they want to keep the peace. So they asked us in the media to stay back, and we're hoping that eventually some of these folks will tell us who this person is in the hospital and give us some information. And we'll be here as long as we have to be to give that to you. We'll send it back to you, Aisha.
Harv, and as you were saying, a huge difference out there where you are from Meeting Street in Calhoun. What's going on out there? You said it's pretty quiet out where you are, but a whole lot going on Calhoun and Meeting.
Yeah, it's it's overnight. It's midnight here, at MUSC, and not a lot of people working here tonight. So that's why not a lot of activity. But we can clearly hear the helicopter overhead circling. Since I got here a little after 9 o'clock, I've heard the helicopter circling. So obviously, we know they're still looking for the suspect.
All right. Thank you, Harv. And we'll check back in with you in just a little bit. Speaking of the suspect, we want to keep giving you that description of the suspect. We're going to keep reiterating it. A white male in his 20s, slender, small build, gray sweatshirt, hoodie, and blue jeans, clean shaven. Again, white male in his 20s, slender, small build, gray sweatshirt, hoodie, possibly some Timberland boots, blue jeans, and clean shaven. We also want to give you the number that you need to call if you've seen anything, if you've heard anything. 743-7200. Again, 743-7200. We're supposed to be getting a briefing at any moment on the latest as to what's going on. Another situation going on over on Meeting Street. They have closed down that street as well because of a bomb threat. A bomb threat was called into the Embassy Suites not far away from the original scene on Calhoun Street that happened at 9 o'clock, where this suspect with that description, again in his 20s, white male with a hoodie, gray hoodie and jeans, went into that church with a historic tie, went into the church and started shooting in that church during their meeting and Bible study.
5 News starts now with breaking news.
That news coming out of Mount Pleasant, where police are investigating the shooting of one man outside of a church.
Investigators say it happened just a little bit before 8:30 this evening on the roadway outside of Holy Trinity AME. That's off of Mathis Ferry.
Witnesses tell us that they saw a man collapse on Seaport Lane near the Riverwalk Apartments.
Our Hannah Mosley is live at the scene now. Hannah, what can you tell us?
Well, this is where the victim came after he was shot just outside of Holy Trinity AME. He came here, walked across Mathis Ferry, and then I'm told this is where he collapsed. Now, Mount Pleasant police are still looking for the person or people responsible. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see the scene here. They actually...
We start with breaking news right now out of Edisto Island. Right now, lanes in both directions on Highway 174 just before the McKinley-Washington Bridge. They are closed right now. That is near Chisholm Plantation Lane. The Charleston County Sheriff's Office says within the last 2 hours, a person was hit by a car there and had to be taken by helicopter to the hospital. No arrests have been made as of yet, but officials say that investigation is ongoing. And new tonight at 11, we've learned a federal hearing has been scheduled for the man accused of shooting 9 people at Mother Emanuel Church downtown in June and his friend. The meeting for Dylan Roof and Joey Meek, that's Roof's friend accused of lying to authorities, is scheduled for February 11th. The U.S. Justice Department has yet to decide if it will seek the death penalty against Roof on federal charges, but state prosecutors, they say they will.
We start tonight with breaking news out of Hanahan. Police there investigating a fire at the former home of former officer Michael Slager. Witnesses say it happened on the 1100 block of Yeamans Hall Road. They say it was a small fire that left minor damage after a neighbor put it out.
Slager, of course, the former North Charleston police officer accused of murder, charged with murder in the shooting death of Walter Scott after a traffic stop last April. He was released on bond. He was granted that bond and subsequently released earlier this week. We're told that fire appears to have been intentionally set. No word on any suspects at the time as that investigation there in Hanahan continues. Again, Slager does not own that home anymore.
Local civil rights groups called for an urgent community town hall meeting tonight.
That comes after several protests this week against Slager being released from jail on bond.
Our Alexis Simmons was at the International Longshoremen's Association where the meeting was taking place. Now, Alexis, we hear that meeting was closed to the media. You weren't allowed to go in.
Right, Raphael and Lisa, I was not allowed to go in that room, as you said, where that meeting was.
I don't want to see a racist in the White House. I don't want to see someone who thinks that all Mexicans are rapists.
New at 11, protesters also made headlines up in Rock Hill during Donald Trump's visit there. Student protesters attended the rally at Winthrop University to interrupt the Republican presidential candidate. However, hundreds of people who had tickets to the rally were turned away because the school oversold tickets.
New tonight, we take a look inside the Coliseum at Winthrop University as Donald Trump spoke before that packed crowd there. Raycom's Michael Clark has more on the message Trump had for voters who live here.
A political campaign that felt more like a carnival.
Isn't a Trump rally more fun than all these other stiffs? How cool.
A big send-off at the steps of City Hall downtown Charleston as Joe Riley left the office on his last day of work as longtime mayor of the Holy City. Charleston employees lined the sidewalk to shake Riley's hand and thank him for his 40 years of service, much to his surprise.
I've got the most wonderful staff, and I've loved my work. I've loved working here and working for the citizens of our community. It's so gracious for everybody to turn out and surprise me this afternoon.
Former candidate Jenny Deeren, along with Mayor-elect John Tecklenburg, were also there to wish Mayor Riley well. Right now, freezing cold weather running things all over the low country. Look at the temperatures there. 33 in Allendale County, 32 degrees right now.
Frigid air expected to get below freezing overnight, so get ready to bundle up early in the morning. For the latest on the forecast, let's turn it over to Jordan Wilkerson, live with us in the First Alert Storm Center with more on this Arctic blast. Jordan?
Yes, Lisa and Roth, it is so cold out there that we are already seeing temperatures near freezing.
From the Low Country's news leader, this is Live 5 News.
Right now, showers hitting the low country, adding to the cool Thursday night we are experiencing.
And more rain is on the way overnight, so drivers, of course, beware if you have to head out on those wet roadways, and you're going to want to keep those umbrellas handy, too.
Our first alert weather begins with Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh. Bill, let us know how long this rain's going to stick around.
Yeah, it's going to stick around overnight, maybe kind of sneaking into the morning hours by maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And
we had record-breaking heat today, but that warmth is about to take a bit of a backseat as we'll experience a cooling trend now in the next few days. Our meteorologist, Gay Galindo, joins us now from the First Alert Weather Center with the very latest on the rest of the week forecast. Looking a little bit cooler, Sagay?
Oh, yeah, we are looking a lot cooler as we head toward the end of the week.
Now, in the upstate, South Carolina, we've already seen snow fall and stick, and there's even more coming down for those areas as this winter storm continues to develop.
Many crews from across the state, including from our own area, have teamed up to help prepare for what's to come of this winter weather.
Our Alexis Simmons joins us in the studio now. Alexis, these temperatures, they're going to drop throughout the night. A lot of people may be changing their weekend plans.
Raphael, that's right. You know, I talked with some people today from North Carolina. They were visiting Charleston just for the weekend, but it looks like they're going to have to make themselves comfortable right here until these roads in the north are safe for travel.
We got here last night around 11, and we were going to go back home Sunday, but we're thinking we're probably going to get stuck till maybe Monday or Tuesday. We're not sure.
Alexandria and
New restaurants and retail stores are coming to West Ashley. It's a part of the redevelopment of the Ashley Oaks Plaza. That's at the intersection of Ashley River and Wapu Road.
Our Alexis Simmons is on the story today. Now, Alexis, what would you say? A lot of people have a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to their emotions about those changes?
Definitely, Lisa. So about 40,000 people actually drive past this shopping center, and the people that I talk with are either all for it or totally against it.
New tonight at 11, justice for these two women after a man raped one and kidnapped both of them. Learned today he will spend the rest of his life behind bars. This is video from back in 2013 when they agreed to share their story with us. Telly McClam was found guilty today by a jury in Berkeley County. McClam kidnapped his ex-girlfriend's teen daughter and raped her at gunpoint. Prosecutors say he then made the teen call her mom, and with that he lured her and held them both at gunpoint and knife point and tied them up for hours.